What's up, everybody? This is the Better Listen Up with Evan J. Thomas show. On this episode, I've got a badass band out of Michigan. They are the three with me today is vocalist Josh Harrington, guitarist Chris Black, and drummer Jeff Hafer of Horizon Theory. What's going on, gentlemen?
What's going on?
So, get this out of the way. You got a brand new song out, killing it, nowhere to go. I just read on your Facebook page, basically number 5 on the iTunes Alt Canada list, number 25 on iTunes Alt USA list, and then number 46 on the iTunes Canadian Top 100 of all genres. So this song seems very meaningful to you guys. Obviously, what's the story behind it? Lyrics are fantastic, and it hit me when I first heard it too. So I want to hear what you guys say.
Right on. Well, Chris had wrote a lot of the guitar parts for this song. Roughly probably a year ago, something like that. Maybe 2 years ago, and we messed with it. Had a little demo, put some songs out, put some videos out, and then kind of revisited that song. And I just kind of freestyled some lyrics on there, maybe jotted in some ideas that I had at the time, and then revisited it and kind of got a whole nother feel for it, for what we wanted to do with it. And I kind of went off of some of the lyrics that I had already had, and started really thinking about what we wanted to do with the song. And I figured a lot of people, everybody knows somebody who's battling, substance abuse or alcoholism or even thoughts of suicide. And with what I had and just the feel of this song, it just kind of hit me, and I kind of just went with that, you know what I mean? And so that's kind of how the song happened, I guess I should say.
Okay. Yeah, Jeff, he actually helped with lyrics on that second verse, the rap part. Yeah. So we did this song 2 years ago. Was the first thing that Josh ever recorded with me. I had been putting together songs and demos for about a year, and he was on his way to another gig with his other band. And a mutual friend told him we were looking for a singer, so he popped in. And it was basically like, I got 5 minutes, and then I got to leave. So he came in, I handed him a mic, hit play on this song, and he listened to about 10 seconds and started singing. And pretty much what you hear on the intro of this song was his first gut instinct melody that day that he recorded within 10 seconds of walking in the room.
Yeah. First time we had ever met.
Yeah, and that's kind of why I wanted to put the song out, because we'd put out a lot of rock stuff and like a little heavier. And I thought it'd be cool to show a different side of our musical ability. And this song is a little more, ballady. And I thought, hey, this is a song, the first thing we worked on together, and it still just grabs you when you hear that first intro.
Yep.
And so I was like, we should mess with this. And that's one of the great things about having a studio where we record everything and having the ability to go back and redo stuff. We're not traveling somewhere, recording in a studio for 2 weeks, and then we're stuck with what we did for the rest of our life.
Right.
We do stuff here, and we don't put it out for a year. So in that time we listen to it. If at some point we get bored with the song, we're like, okay, or something starts to seem boring or repetitive, we go back and revisit it before we put it out. Maybe it just needs a guitar riff during the second verse or chorus, or maybe we need to change the melody. And that's one of the cool things about being able to do this and go back and just, revisit them a year later. We're not stuck with something we did somewhere else, at a studio. So
the best part that I liked about this song too, so not only do you have your vocal range where you go from regular singing, like the powerful lyrics and just the way you do that, to also the rap part, like you just mentioned. So did that rap part, did that just come out of nowhere? Or was that kind of already fit into the song somewhere? Did it just make sense?
Well, I think Chris and Jeff one of the two of them, I don't remember, mentioned, man, what if you tried doing a rap? Because we had another verse in there that was a little bit, I think, like the first verse.
It was exactly the
same melody as the first verse. Yeah. I mean, and hell, I think it was even the same damn words, you know what I mean? We had just so when we wrote the song, we had something, you know what I mean? Yeah, copy pasted, so we had something to work with. And we liked it for months and we listened to it, but when we revisited it and really wanted to tackle it, it got to one of those spots where he was like, you know, it sounds repetitious, man. Maybe we need to change this part up. What can we do here? And then he mentioned, you know, maybe like a rappy type vocal or something, you know.
Which is weird because it doesn't seem like, if you listen to the instrumentation, it wouldn't call for rap. It wouldn't sound like a rap song.
Got me, like, I'm listening through this song and then all of a sudden the rap part comes in. I'm like, ooh, that's a nice little switch.
So, it's totally different. It sounds almost out of place, but it works. And what I suggested was doing something in the style of the very first song we put out called Past Life. The verses in that have like a rap style kind of verse. And I thought it might work over that. And so I put Josh and Jeff on it. They were like tasked with writing this rap verse. I put that on loop and I walked outside and hung out for a while. And when I came back in, they were like, check this shit out. And I instantly heard, I'm like, fuck yeah, that's it.
Yeah, we laid it down right then.
Yeah.
We hit record right then.
So with your vocal style that you have, you kind of are a little mixed bag of what you do. You guys were saying that you were in other bands before. Was your other band, Josh, was it something similar to what you're doing now, or was it totally like different?
Well, some of we did covers for a couple of years, you know, playing the casinos and stuff like that, and some you know, better gigs. And then we moved on to originals. Our originals were kind of metally, like more like of a hard rock metal, I guess. Little different than our kind of sound that we have here. But some of the covers that we did were like this, you know what I mean? I listen to all kinds of, I listen to anything from the 50s to now. I mean, all kinds of music. It could be R&B, not a lot of country, but, you know, Southern
rock. There's always one genre in there that somebody doesn't like.
You might as well plug your band.
Maybe some old 90s country.
You might as well plug them. It's Blackout, just so everybody.
Oh yeah, Blackout's the band. Yeah, and I'm still in that band. We still do.
You might as well plug them. And Jeff's he's a drummer in another band as well from Michigan called Nagazi.
Yeah.
So these both in other bands as well.
Yeah. So, but yeah, you know, as far as you know, we did a little bit of everything, kind of, you know. But it's different in this band in the sense that, like, we just have kind of a different sound than the other band that I'm in. It's a different feel. It's a different writing process. You know, this stuff here comes a little more from the heart, I should say, lyrically. I think, you know, it's more of a feel type of music than what I got going on in the other bands. A little more kind of punch you in the face, hard rock. You know what I mean? So it's a lot different vocally, I guess, now.
And we know what the other cover band's for. It's to make money, because that's what you do.
Right. Right.
It's to fund the original band. That's what everybody does now, is they do the cover tribute band to fund that. So you guys are a mixed bag that came in from different bands. Most bands are like that. So how did you guys actually come together to make Rise in Theory?
Tinder.
Yeah.
Tinder. All right. Tinder for metal. Tinder for metal artists. You got to fucking Tinder. Hey, that could be a thing.
Yeah, it should be. Yeah, no.
Yeah,
no. Just Chris.
No sex unless you want that stuff. So there you go.
So Lewis and I, our bass player, he lives in LA, so that's why he's not here with us tonight.
Not pictured, so we'll put a not pictured up in the corner.
Yeah, not pictured Lewis. So him and I were in a band before we started this one for several years, and we kind of we don't really talk about that at all. So. You know, just because we just made a decision to move on and move forward and not ever look at the past at all. We don't care. We're all about this thing. So that's where we leave that. But we started writing together, and a mutual friend of Josh's hit me up about him as a singer, and I kind of blew him off at first a little bit. I was kind of him-hawish, and I just didn't think, you know, we were going to find a singer local in rural Michigan in the woods. That was what we were wanting to do. I had Lewis in LA looking for a singer in LA. And so he came out, and the second he started recording, we were like, okay, that's the guy. And then fast forward a while, Jeff came out to help record on some demos for us. And it just worked. Like, it just clicked, and we all got along, and it was just easy, and so that's kind of how it happened.
Well, a lot, basically, mutual friends kind of brought us all together, you know, and kind of sort of in our area, our musical or our metal networking.
In the middle of the woods in Michigan.
Yeah.
In the middle.
Right.
One big happy family over there with Horizon Theory, so that always works out. Hey,
right.
You know what? So the next question I'm going to have, you kind of mentioned something earlier where you do your own recordings in your own studio. So I find that there are bands that do that a lot. And with that, are you able to take your own constructive criticism from other people? Because obviously when you work in a studio, usually you have the, producer is kind of talking, this needs to be changed up, this needs to be changed up, or who kind of is that person doing the recordings?
Well, I hit the red button, I run so I kind of started learning as I went with this thing. And I started out with a little laptop, and now I have basically we have a vocal booth and drums set up and mic'd and everything. But originally I was going to mix and master everything myself because I thought I was good enough. But it turns out that wasn't the case. So it's a learning curve. It takes 10, 15 years to become excellent at mixing and mastering. So we ended up through one of our, kind of release managers and longtime friends. He hooked us up with a guy to mix. His name's Chris Dawson. He does an excellent job. And so we track everything here, and then we send him the stems. And he mixes, and then we've got a guy in California. His name's Mayor Applebaum. He does the mastering, and he's worked on a ton of stuff. He's excellent. So it's worked out really well. We don't have to travel and stay in like a hotel and stay somewhere and have this other guy record everything for 2 weeks. We can do it and take our time. Yep. And one of the one thing I'd say I'm very proud of with this band and our music is that we don't have a producer coming in that's done 50 albums telling us what to do.
Or co-writers.
We don't have co-writers. We don't have a producer writing our music or telling us it's got to be like this. We sat down and we grinded for 2 years and learned how to write and structure a song correctly. And it's basically, it's just us. So that's one thing that's been kind of cool is we can say that we don't have someone else doing that for us.
And we like our music, and that's tough. When you're in a band, it's hard to like your own music. It really is. And it's we like our own music. I mean,
you're your own worst critic to begin with. So might as well. Going back into some of the music that you guys do, I just asked this question to another band the other day about backing tracks and the good and the bad of using it. What are your takes on using backing tracks for like live shows?
Yeah, you run the tracks, so you tell them. Hey. What do you think about it?
I don't mind it. I think there's a fine line of live, of not being able to play, what you recorded, and then just having backing tracks as your only
scapegoat.
Yeah, like it's
savior. Yeah.
Well, the crutch of it, and it's
there's a time and a place, and too much, and it can be definitely too much.
I mean, I don't really care what any band can do whatever they want to do, because I'm not in that band. I don't give a shit. So it's, you know what I mean? Like, so I mean, it's not really. I don't care, but I know there's the purists and the this, that, and the other, but to me, it's in this band, we have tracks, but they're not. If they stopped, for instance, the show would still keep going. You wouldn't see anything. There wouldn't be like, oh shit, something just, the drums don't drop out. You know what I mean? So it's,
or the vocals.
Yeah, or the vocals. Yeah, we don't need that.
We don't have any vocals on tracks at all. And the only thing we have on tracks are synth stuff, like programmed sound effects we mess with.
Beginnings and middles and ends and stuff like that. I get that.
Yeah, we've got like synth stuff and then guitar. One thing I've always made sure to do, just so nobody talks shit, is if I have guitar tracks running, it's the rhythm. And if there's a notey thing or a lead type riff or something that's would be considered trickier or harder to play live than, say, a power chord rhythm part. I make sure to put the rhythm guitar on the tracks, and I play the lead stuff. And the reason we're kind of doing that is we don't have a second guitarist. We could have, but right now, until we're making, good money out of the band and on the road, it's like we're going to just kind of wait and add a guy when it makes sense. So right now it's like, whatever. We're just, we've never had someone come up to the merch table after a show and be like, man, I would have loved your guys' show if you didn't have that rhythm guitar on tracks. That's
Right.
never happened. So,
Then you would have been like, I have no idea what you're talking about. So there you go.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, you said basically the exact same thing the other band did that I asked. The band was Any Given Sin. I don't know if you've ever heard of them.
Yeah.
They brought it up too, and they're like, it's 2024. You do what's best for you. Plus, if you want to pay 5 other musicians to do what they need to do, you can, but we're not going to do that. So
Right.
totally get it. I mean, it's that era. And then some of my favorite current bands, like Ice Nine Kills and Falling in Reverse, I mean, that's most of their live shows is
Right. It's big. It's big. It's the epic moment. It's how you get the chance. It's, you know what I mean?
There's a lot of
it's
stuff.
big, and that's that genre of music.
does it too. So
Right,
like
that's
everybody. Disturbed.
yeah.
Name a fucking band, you got it. So there you go.
Right, yeah. And we're not doing anything any different than they are, really. Probably less than most of those bands, honestly, for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing with me was we were never going to have vocals on tracks because we've got a real singer that can really sing.
There you go.
And I do a lot of backups here and there while I'm playing, make sure that's nothing on tracks vocally. Like, that's the one thing where I'm kind of like, you kind of got to draw the line at vocals, in my opinion.
I would agree, and I've seen it, and it is kind of sad when you see the vocalist not really singing, and you're like,
it's like that's Britney Spears shit. You know what I mean? That's not a rock band.
There are rock bands that do that. I've seen it live, so
Yeah.
I'm not calling anybody out, but I've been there.
Hey, and whatever works for them. But for me,
exactly,
I don't feel like I can leave a stage pumped up and proud of what we did if our vocals were fake. That's the one thing that he has to connect with the crowd and create an emotion with that crowd. And if it's fake, that's just, it would feel strange to me. So
I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it if there was vocals, honestly. I mean, I like the backup vocals, but it just wouldn't feel right,
There was one festival I was at in Michigan. It was what was that festival? Rockapalooza. And there was a band on stage, and actually he was out in the crowd, and he dropped his microphone, and the vocals kept going. And
it's like my worst nightmare.
That was the first time I ever saw that happen. I was like, this was literally right after the whole whatever Ashley Simpson or whoever the fuck that was on Saturday Night Live.
Right.
The fact that I remember that, I know you're laughing over there, but it's true. It's true.
Yeah.
No,
people are just standing there like, wait. The vocals are going, but he has no microphone. What the hell is going on? So that was my first experience of backing tracks.
Yeah,
I mean, she had it lucky. They just went to commercial with her. Standing in the crowd,
and he was being held up by people in the crowd.
Fast enough.
I would back up and leave.
Yeah.
I
mean, he couldn't get back to the stage quick enough to cover that one up. So you guys are going to be hitting the tour route. On April 11th, you're going to be in my neck of the woods. You're opening up for Orgy and Cold. Holy fuck. Like, that experience with these two bands, like, what are you looking forward to? It's a month and a half. You guys are hitting some fucking amazing venues, too. So what are you looking forward to on this road trip?
For me, all of it, man. It's my first big tour, really, It's, for me, all of it. The traveling, the networking. I mean, hell, I'm going to states I've never thought I'd ever even think about going, so the traveling for me, the whole experience more than anything.
Do you have anything like literally circled on your list there, Josh?
No, but I'm taking my disc golf bag, and I'm probably going to take fucking fishing pole. Don't think I won't.
There you go. Why not? I mean,
I'm a big fisherman and I play some disc golf, and I think discing. I think I could get some discing in over the road. That don't
well,
take
let's
long.
see. You got like Colorado, so that's going to be epic for some fishing. You
And
got
discing, yeah,
California,
right.
Texas, Louisiana, Florida. I mean, you're all over the place. So
Yeah, I'm the guy that goes by every body of water and is like, I bet there's trout in there. You know.
Yeah, there better be a fishing hole next to a Walmart or a Love's. That's where we live on tour. Walmarts and Love's.
So Chris, which places are you looking forward to seeing when you're out there?
Well, I gotta say, so Lewis and I did a lot of touring before. We've been to a lot of these same venues.
Okay, so you've been
So
out.
it's cool to get back and revisit these. The whiskeys, just the whole West Hollywood thing. Get to go to the Rainbow, have some of the pizza. I miss the pizza there.
Right across the street.
Yeah, and then New Orleans, the House of Blues in New Orleans. It's always a blast there because you've got the Bourbon Street thing, and the food's amazing. All the blackened and Cajun. I'll eat anything with that stuff on it. So the food, just to travel, and getting back on some good stages and some good crowds. And Cold, I actually, I was a big fan of them when I was in high school, and I think I was probably 19 or 18, and I went and saw them at the Machine Shop in Flint, Michigan 20 years ago on their tour for the Year of the Spider album.
Yep.
And I remember just being blown away at that show, one of my first shows at the Machine Shop as a kid, basically 18 or whatever. And I remember just thinking how cool that would be to do one day. And I'd never even touched a guitar in my life at that point. I didn't start playing guitar until I was about 21. So to fast forward exactly 20 years, I'm going to be 38, so 20 years. And being on the same stage at the same venue with Cold is pretty cool.
Yeah, because you're playing the second show of the tour is
Yeah.
Yeah. So how far is that venue from where you guys are?
About an hour and
a half, 2
hour
hours.
and a half, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm going to get to Jeff before I get to the next question. Jeff, what places do you have on your bucket list to circle on this?
For me, I've done touring in the past with my other band, but the West Coast, I'm looking forward to that. Just because I guess growing up, you know what I mean. You always hear about playing LA and all that, so I mean, it's just that's something special. But really,
in California,
the biggest one for me is New Orleans. I lived in Louisiana years back, and then due to Katrina, we had to relocate. And I was actually supposed to play at the House of Blues, and that got yanked from me. So I'm actually really excited to go back, and I've got a lot of friends down there that I'm really excited to see again. I've been down there a few times, but I love that city. I love New Orleans. I love that state. There's just something I didn't grow up there, but I mean, I kind of mentally grew up there. So it was just a joy to live down there. And I'm just really excited to go back and, play a city that I get to go full circle and kind of complete something that I've always wanted to do. New York, I'm really looking forward to that. That's
the Gramercy Theater. That looks
I mean, and no show is more particularly better than the other, in my opinion. I love each venue. I love every state because you get to meet so many different people from different walks of life. The beautiful thing about this country is there's so many different things. When you're on the East Coast, you get different foods, you get different cultures, you get different everything. West Coast, same thing. So I love the melting pot aspect of traveling. You're not hitting the same thing over and over again. So that's really unique to me.
Well, since you kind of brought that up, so since you are going to be in all these different states, different cuisines, are you guys the type to actually look for the certain food in that city, or do you kind
That's
of?
why we tour.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's why we tour. It's
I was gonna say, you're not like the usual just walk into Buc-ee's or walk into, you know, the gas station just picking up a sandwich. You might do that here and there, but I mean, you actually get out and eat local.
It's the first thing we do. We walk off the bus and we ask the locals of the venue where the best food is, and we go get it. I mean, it's I'm looking forward to. I don't know if we're going to be in Providence, but Rhode Island, they've got like the seafood over there.
Oh, yeah.
And then, I mean, it's just, that's the whole thing. We love it. We're foodies. So I've thought about starting like a food blog or something with YouTube where, you know, we're getting to go to all these cities and try all these different foods. And, you know, people are really into that. So I don't know. We do it anyways. We might as well record some of it.
I mean,
I'm a retired chef, so a 2-minute thing on each one. That's it. You're good.
Yeah.
So make sure when you. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I don't know who's talking.
I used to be a chef. I'm retired now. Got out of the food industry, but you know, cooking is well, I mean, food. You know, food is a very what's the word I'm looking for? It's like a genuine connection of people. You know what I mean? Like food's made with love. Food is made with heart and passion. And, you know, you take some of the freshest ingredients, some of the best ingredients that the locals have, and, you know, you really get to taste and experience a culture. You know what I mean? And it's magical to me. I mean, being, you know, a foodie, but, you know, and it's also great because you get good nourishment. You know what I mean? The worst thing you can do to yourself on tour is eat cheeseburgers every day. So
hot dogs.
Hot dogs every day.
I feel like I'm going to throw up.
Terrible
about that.
Yeah.
So I was
haven't done that, but
yeah,
you probably have a little here and there. I was on tour with a band a couple years ago for 2 weeks, and I think every meal they had, no matter where they were, was pizza. And I'm like, first of all, you're from Chicago. You don't eat pizza in Salt Lake City, Utah.
Yeah,
right.
You're not going to get, and I swear I probably tried at least a piece out of all of them, and I was like, this is trash. You can't have it. So, you know, there's certain areas you got to try New York style pizza, obviously Chicago. When you're on the Southwest, you do tacos and Mexican food and shit like that. Right. So, like you said, East Coast, you got the fish and shrimp and all the cocktails and whatnot.
The barbecue in Texas, looking forward to that.
Oh my God. Yeah, I need to get out to Texas. I've been there once. So. That definitely has to happen. So with what you have already released with the single, do you have any more? Do you have like an album that's going to be coming out or an EP? What do you have coming up with that?
Yeah, March 4th, actually. There you go. What we've done is all the music that we've released up until now, we combined it all into an EP called the Astronomer EP. And so that we had some physical music to sell on this tour. So the songs have been out, but they'll be combined on streaming platforms now into a full album or an EP. And then we'll have those discs for sale at the merch table. And the plan is to get off this tour and then finish writing and recording our full album. And once that's ready, I'm hoping this fall, we'll combine all the songs into a full-length album. So, and that'll be called Radio Silence. So we've been, you know, trying to promote and push that with all these singles. That's what, you know. So, yeah.
So you guys got your merch ready yet? I mean, you got 6 weeks out. So, you know.
We got a lot of it sitting here, but we don't.
Yeah,
we're hoping we need more.
We've got more coming.
I was going to say, with the amount of dates you guys have, and you guys are opening one of the 2 openers before the 2 other bands. What was the other band's name? It was like
Ayatoya.
Ayatoya. Okay, I was like, I didn't know if that was an I there. I thought it might have been a line.
Oh yeah.
Just trying to. I've never heard of them, so I got to check them out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, holy shit, Orgy and Cold. I've actually covered both, so that's cool. I'm hoping when you guys do come through Bottom Lounge on the 11th, I'll be there because I'm having surgery in 3 weeks, and it's oral surgery, and I'm going to be covered up, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to get out. So we'll see.
Man. Hope you can make it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hoping I can make it too because, man, to be shut down for a few weeks sucks to begin with. So that should be One. So you have that coming out. I wanted to kind of ask each one of you, either one, anybody can answer this. So what do you guys do as a band that you think stands out from others?
Ooh.
Jeff, you want
I know it's
Yeah.
He's a big fan of our music. So
I am a big fan. Yeah. I mean, for me personally, of our music, you know, I really enjoy. I feel it, and I believe that that's because it's all from the heart. And I'm not saying about any other band. I'm not comparing. I don't like to compare because it's apples and oranges and this, that, and the other. But for me, you know, other bands I've been in, you know, there's always been some sort of maybe a small part missing or a small feeling or just something. But when the four of us connect, I mean, it's like, you know, I feel like it's a, you know, like we become Voltron or something, you know what I mean? Where it's just like, you know, our powers combined and we become this epic thing. And
Right.
Exactly,
Yeah.
you know? And
Hey, go Irish, dude. Sorry to interrupt. I just seen it.
all right.
Go
I wasn't sure that you, because you guys were
anywho,
Michigan.
yeah.
I
Go
didn't want to
Tigers.
talk shit,
Fine.
but I can't
Anyways.
really talk shit because you guys, Michigan won, so I wasn't really
Go
sure.
blue. But anyways, you know, I just think that you know, we're all writing genuinely. You know, like Chris mentioned before, you know, this is not anybody. We don't have anybody telling us what to play, how to play, when to play, and where to play. We all, you know, bring what we bring individually to the table, and we connect on that, you know, and that's like to me, like the true, you know, deal of the art, you know what I mean, of making and creating music. And you know, when we play live, I mean, it's just as infectious for us as hopefully it is for the fans, because you know, that way we're not up there just fraudulently selling something. We're you know, we're giving what we have to you.
Yeah.
And whether you guys appreciate it or not, that's your decision as well. So it's up to people to, you know, have their own interpretations of what they want. But you know, I think there's I don't know, I guess it's kind of a thing of you know, having to have an image or having to have this, that, and the other. I've never found a piece of clothing that's ever made me a better drummer. You know, so it's like I don't really subscribe to that, and I don't think that's what this band is about.
No.
We're about music. We're about the show. We're about the, you know, just the passion of doing what we love to do. We're all, you know, musicians. You know, whether I'm the greatest drummer in the world, I'm not, you know, I don't care. That's not my goal in life. My goal is to be able to play and write music that, you know, I love and we all love. So I think that genuinely gets transferred to the crowd and the audience, and they can, it's been, you know, very well received so far. And, you know, I mean, we can just hope and pray that it keeps going. So a lot of hard work, dedication, and, you know, the work pays off, you know?
Yeah.
I was going to say something, Jeff, that you mentioned a little bit ago in your answer. So you said nobody tells you guys where to play or when to play. I bet you the stage manager does and your tour manager. So there you go.
Well, tour manager, stage manager,
Yeah,
drum
right.
manager.
Oh, there you go. So
I mean,
Yeah.
we got a driver. We do have a driver.
Yeah.
that's good. Do you have a merch person?
Not the Big Jim.
No, we don't even really have a merch person. I mean, really, it's the four of us. We got a driver, Big Jim, and we got a couple of people who really help us out.
DIY.
True
Yeah.
DIY.
Yeah.
We'll be running our own merch. We go to the merch table after the
So
show.
do you guys actually have like a tour bus, or do you have a van, or what are you guys going to be working with?
It's a RV. It's a big
Oh,
ass.
even better.
Yeah, it's got
it's
big.
super nice. Yeah.
But it's, you know, hopefully we don't have any issues, and we got a great driver.
I was going to say, does your driver know how to fix things just in case?
He does.
He's an
He
old
does.
Freightliner driver.
Yeah. So
Even better.
Yeah.
Real CDL driver.
Yeah,
Yeah.
CDL driver. Yeah.
Those are the type of guys you need on the road with you because
Yeah.
eventually something's gonna happen. Shit.
No, he's had to double his security, and he's also the auto detailer. The second we park at a venue, he's out there simple greening the wheels, and it's crazy. Like, he just lives for this. He loves it. So
I'm gonna go around the room last time just to kind of get a little vibe on your musical tastes. I'm gonna start with Josh. I want to hear 3 of the bands you're currently listening to that you love, and then one of your all-time favorites.
Ooh, 3 of the ones that like more current bands that I'm listening
more current
to.
bands that you're listening to.
I listen to currently. I'm on a lot of different kicks. My playlist, man, goes through everything all day. But as far as bands that I'm currently, I would say, I listen to Bullet. I've been listening to Bullet for years, kind of off and on. You know what I mean? But that's like never gone away, I guess. So that to me, that's considered current, I guess.
When you say Bullet for My Valentine?
Yeah. I like Mark Tremonti. I'm a big Miles Kennedy fan, so I like Alter Bridge. Both bands. Obviously,
and Creed's coming back too.
Dude, I've always been on a Creed kick. Shinedown's good. That first Shinedown album was sick. But yeah, as far as currently, I'd say like the Bullet, the Tremonti, the Alter Bridge. I still throw Megadeth in there. I'm a big Megadeth fan, big Maiden fan. An all-time favorite would be Tesla, one of my favorite bands of all time. But I'm listening to fucking Boyz II Men and shit like that on the
Philly back again, bro. Come on.
On the daily, dude. All that shit. I got Mariah Carey going. I got R&B.
All right, that's where I stopped you. All right,
Mariah. I listen to everything. I like a lot of different music. I really do. And these guys kind of bring a little bit of everything out in me, I guess, in our writing and shit. So it's kind of cool. This is different. Our writing and our melody and stuff, it's different than what I've been doing in my current, in my recent bands and the band I'm in now. So, awesome. And I feel like they bring out all this different shit that I listen to the best,
And Jeff, what about you? 3 current, 1 all time.
3 current bands I'm listening to. Well, let's see here. Korn. Really, I love Follow the Leader and Issues. Those are 2 good albums to drum to as far as
stuff. Yep.
I mean the groove and the power. That's kind of really my bread and butter. Vinnie Paul was that groove power. Pantera. It's weird. I don't really listen to a lot of music, to be honest.
It's your own stuff.
I grew up on Zeppelin. I grew up on all that 70s, power rock type stuff.
Yep.
But I'll throw. It depends on my mood. What mood am I in? I'll drum to Michael Jackson. I'll drum to Prince. I'll drum to Pantera. I'll drum to Godflesh. Downset. There's all kinds of bands. Like hardcore. But mainly it's a groove. It's about whatever's got a good groove. Motley Crue would probably be one of my all-time favorites. Tommy Lee was just a beast as far as his groove. I loved his showmanship. Growing up in the 80s, like that's when MTV actually had music videos.
Yeah.
Back then, I know I'm dating myself, but
okay. I'm there with you, man.
Yeah, I get the walker when I go out to the stage, so it's great. Senior citizens parking and all that jazz. But Motley Crue and Pantera probably, and Korn would probably be the 3 biggest for me right now.
Yeah, don't talk about being old and being at shows because Friday night I was out and it was 11 o'clock. I'm like, I want to go home. I'm tired.
Right. Yeah.
Fuck, man. When did that start happening?
Right.
Shit.
It sucks even worse when you're waiting to play on stage. You're like, man, it's
getting
about bedtime.
Yeah, well, I mean, luckily you guys are probably going to be done by 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock.
Yeah, we should be good.
Yeah.
8,
Then you can
8:30.
hang around depending on the venue that you're at or where you have to go the next day. You can hang around for a little bit and have some fun, kind of get out. All right, so I got to finish with Chris with your 3 and your 1.
Well, it's I guess All That Remains. I just started going to the gym again a bunch, and I try to get pumped up, and I always come back to this Under Oath album, Define the Great Line. It's like just one of the coolest albums ever, super heavy. So I've been listening to that a lot. And strangely enough, like when I'm driving around in my truck, that's my time to kind of unwind and chill from hectic everyday life. And I've actually been spinning some Taylor Swift quite a bit lately, which is very strange.
I knew it.
So yeah, there's like, I don't know, that new album, the newest album she's got out. It's, I don't know, there's something about the bass lines and the drums in it, like the whatever the hell it is, samples. I don't know, but it's got like, I don't know. Yeah. So when I'm driving around and I want to like unwind my mind, I put some stuff like that on. But when I'm trying to get pumped up or stuff I grew up on, it's Bullet for My Valentine, All That Remains, Under Oath, Devil Driver, stuff like that.
So like an all-time band for you would be what?
Fuck, that's a tough one. All-time band. That's just too, it's too hard. I don't, well, I will say this, the band that the riffs in their album got me started playing guitar, made me want to play guitar and learn how, was the first Bullet for My Valentine album, The Poison. The songs on there, like Four Words to Choke Upon, and, just excellent guitar work. Like the riffs were so catchy, and that album made me want to learn how to play guitar. So, you'll probably hear that inspiration in a lot of our music, like in, the riffs and our stuff, like during the choruses, there's usually a riff kind of in the background, and it's kind of got that vibe. So that's just, me playing what I love and what I've always wanted to be able to do. So.
And now you got it. Now you're doing it. Then you're going to be hitting this tour, and it's going to be fucking amazing because, man, how all these dates starting on April 11th in Chicago at Bottom Lounge, you got the Machine Shop. You're going to be hitting the Whiskey on the 23rd of April. Like I said, you're going to be all over the place. Welcome to Rockville. You're going to be playing down there in that festival.
Actually, we're not on that date.
Damn it!
I know, right. But we're going to go and hang out. So, it'll be fun. We don't got to unpack and get ready for the show.
That makes sense. You said House of Blues in New Orleans, Legacy, Strange Brew. Never heard of that place. What's a
Strange Brew? Is that Shreveport?
Shreveport, Louisiana.
Yeah, we played there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And then what was the one in New York that I just missed it? Where did
Gramercy. And then there's a Syracuse.
So yeah, you're going to be hitting the road on the 11th, actually a day or so before that to get to Chicago. And then you're finishing up on May 25th at the Turf Club in St. Paul. Holy fuck. So you ready?
You ready? All the way around.
Yeah, we're ready. Yeah.
Ready for it? All right, because you got to make sure anybody that's watching this show, make sure you check out the new song, Nowhere to Go. It is all over every streaming possibility. You can also hear it on Badass Radio Network. That is
nice. Badass, man.
It is up there currently. And then obviously I'm going to have this interview up on our YouTube channel, which is Badass Productions. You can check that out. But man, anything you want to say before you guys go?
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, man. Can't wait to kick it off and meet everybody and,
Yeah. Appreciate it.
You guys are going to have a fucking blast. I mean, I can't imagine 6 weeks out there.
It's a long one.
And it's the entire country. It's like,
and I can't wait for the weather, man.
Well, depending where you hit.
Right.
Colorado could still be a little nasty. You never know.
Right, yeah. Well, we'll get in and out of there quick. As long as we stay close to that coast, I think we'll be all right.
Yeah.
There you go. So, again, thank you guys. From the band Horizon Theory, we have Chris, we have Jeff, and we have Josh. So check them out all over the socials. Until next time, I'm the one and only Evan J. Thomas. I'm the Prince of all media, the badass himself. That's who I am. And this is the Up with Evan J. Thomas show. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, man.
Rock.